Here we go.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Brett.
Of more on that detail with the panel. Peter, thank you.
Look at Brett Baer's face. One more
And tonight
time.
we're getting some Canadian economy.
So
Trump
funny. I can't believe he said this. One more time.
joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
Oh,
Brett.
my God. We don't deserve him, folks. We do not deserve this wonderful man that is our president. Oh, what's going on, people? Good to see you all. How are we doing tonight? Oh, let's do some shout outs. Tonight we're going to talk about Canada becoming the 51st state. Yeah, that's hilarious. Trump making the rounds. Hunter Biden's pardon blowing up. The liberals, even half the Democrats are mad. The other half are just crazy. We got so much going on. DJT making major moves today. Fingers dividends coming. Holy smokes, there's just so much going on in the world. So welcome to the Ace Report. Glad you're here. Please like, share, subscribe as we get started. And now we got to shout out the peeps in this place. What's up? Big B numero uno. Man, what's up, buddy? Alan Krantz, Donna, Stony Bones, Fro Girl, boom, you made it. Cast Sync, Donna. What is going on? Paulie VAC, Hobbs, Randy Lochtefeld, Vince Felice. There's so many places to start. Danny, Just Mike, Troy, Man, CJ Yukon, what's up? The one, Vin Man, Stella Artois, Pat Shigoya, ESK, Candace. So many good people here tonight. Scott Volkovich, Stony Bones, Donna. God bless you. You have $600 to invest in DJT tomorrow. I tell you what, DJT is looking spicy. What's up, Victor, Matthew Kalar? It was a boring day unless you're in DJT at the end of the day. Chad, Corey, why did I mention he's going to be the coach of the Bears next season? Nah, stop it. Shanahan ain't going nowhere. We're not, listen. Just because we're getting crushed on injuries, we're not going to get rid of one of the top 3 coaches in the league. Yeah, nice try. You can dream. Kryptonian, so now what? Frank Anastasio. Welcome, friends and family. A lot of old timers here tonight. I love it. And not old that you're old, but that you've been with the channel a long time. I'm excited. If you're new to the channel, hey, hit me up. The chat is for everybody. I answer every question I possibly can. I learn from you guys too. And so if you got stuff I'm missing or I haven't heard, breaking news I'm missing, whatever, put it in the chat. I welcome it. This is what makes my show different. I try to interact with you guys the entire time. And hey, if you're bummed, I'm not multi-streaming tonight. I'm not on Twitter or X, and I'm not on Rumble tonight live. And the reason is because of streaming issues. I just think it happens that I'm much clearer when I just stream directly to YouTube. So for now, we're going to keep trying that. And unless I have a guest, in which case I have to use Rumble Studio. But anyways, that's how it's going to work out. So Matthew Killar paid off your margin today. That's awesome. Mad Max, off topic, believe we can hit ZJ Whale last on the squeeze sometime 2025. There's no reason to believe ZJ Whale is dead. That's for sure. You got your XRP? Vinman says going to be out of reach soon. Get in before it's too late. All right. That's a good thing to look at. BB Vision. What's up? Just Mike. Who am I calling old? You, man. You. Mark says his favorite nightly show. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Candace, the picture good today? Am I clear? You guys seeing the beard in full effect? These cheeks, nice, chubby, and bright. Yep, that's how it works, right? That's how it works. Anyways, all right, let's move through this a little bit. So we got all kinds of interesting things tonight that I was watching. In fact, I'm going to wait to bring some of that up, but I was watching today several shows. And in these shows, everybody's talking about the Hunter Biden pardon, right? And it's fascinating to me how many the doors have been opened for Trump because of this. Because one of the things they always held against Trump was that he was acting above the law, or just going against trends and protocol, tradition, all that. And so when Biden last night pardons his son, it opened up the floodgates, because now, after the lies they told, after the way they held this up for so long that it would never happen, it makes it, all the liberals now are completely on edge, freaking out that now Trump can kind of do what he wants to do in a way where they don't have the high ground. And now all of us who pay attention, anybody who pays attention knows they don't have the moral high ground. It's insane to even think so. But they believed they did until today. Now, some are still making excuses. It's ridiculous to watch them run around in circles, kind of coming up with their ideas of why it doesn't matter. Anybody would do this for their son, or the dumb stuff. But I mean, then you see stuff like this, and just watch this as this little compilation of how, and thanks to Benny Johnson for putting this together, this little compilation of how they dug themselves a big hole here. And you can imagine the effects this is going to have on the Democrats going forward.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
Oh, son of a bitch.
No one puts together talking points. No one sticks to talking points better than a Democrat liberal, right? It's incredible how they do that. And then now they always step in their own feces. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, so this is going to open up all kinds of things. Now he can pardon the Jan 6ers. But the fact is like, you can always go back and point at this now. This gives Trump more leeway to get away with stuff in the media. Their guy did something crazy, and watch out. So I'm fascinated to see how this carries forward, because they can't help themselves. Do you guys understand? Like they cannot help themselves. They always just are outwardly so hypocritical. It's unreal. And they're always projecting. And so it's the best when it absolutely blows up in their face in a major way. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. So the rum's not talking tonight. No rum tonight. No, listen, I had a lot to drink during Thanksgiving weekend. I enjoyed myself, and now it's time to chill out. I'm trying to lose a little weight, before Christmas, because I'm going to pig out on Christmas too. And I got to tell you, the Ace is getting a little. I'm not as heavy as I was last year, but I'm getting close to gaining it all back, and I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to be good. And my thing is, I love beer. I love it. So I got to be careful how much I drink it, because that's when my weight gets out of control too. Is when I'm not being smart. What's up, Barefoot by DC? Just Mike, if the shoe fits, did I see Trump self-funding the transition? No GSA, no deep state, no taxpayer funding. I did. It's absolutely beautiful. He's so smart, because they're playing everything so smart. They're doing everything by their own rules. They're making the rules up as they go, but it's not that they're making up the rules. That's actually the wrong thing to say, even though it feels that way. What they're doing is they're sticking to the Constitution, and they're ignoring Trump's team and himself. They're starting to push past all of the traditions that have been treated as rules that every president before for the last several decades would abide by. But Trump had 4 years to think about this, and he said, why would I play by their rules anymore? Why would I play by their traditions? They screwed me over. They hate me. They tried to do... I'm not playing by the stupid rules anymore. I hated playing those games. I'm done. And so now I'm going to let podcasters in the media room. I'm going to put the New York Times in the back, maybe kick them out of the room. They hate me anyways. I mean, I'm not going to do the transition thing because I want to be full control with our money, not allow them in at all. You know, he's not even had the FBI do the background checks on his team yet. They're doing private background checks. It's just, it's beautiful to watch. And every time he does one of these things, it's a big F you to the establishment. It's a big freaking middle finger saying, no, there's a new sheriff in town. There's new rules to play by. It's a beautiful, amazing thing. And it gives me so much hope for what we're about to see, because the first time Trump came in, he played by the rules for the most part. He tried to shake things up while also playing by the rules and not having the right team behind him. Listened to the Republicans too much and the establishment, the GOP, listened to them too much, built up. And this time he's saying, no, this is my game now. I'm going to play it this way. And he's going to make mistakes because he's not God. He's not all knowing. There's a couple of his cabinet picks I don't love. But they're also able to be fired, or he can withdraw their nomination. This isn't a big deal. You know, we keep the pressure on, but Trump is doing his best, and this time he came ready to kick ass and take names, and that's what we want. That's exactly why we voted for him, and that's what they're terrified of, and that's why when Joe Biden does something egregious, like pardon his own son for almost 11 years of nonsense, going all the way back to 2014 when he joined Burisma, started making millions of dollars paying out his dad, pardon him all the way back for that, a blanket pardon. It's never been done before except for when Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon. That's the only other time it's been done. And Nixon got like a 5-year blanket pardon. This just doesn't happen. This is more corrupt, the most corrupt pardon we've maybe ever seen. And so when Biden does that, it just gives Trump more leeway to say, you guys don't play by the rules. Why should I? Why should I? So I love all of it. It's beautiful. It's so smart, and it tells me that we don't have to worry. Did Black Friday break online shopping records? I don't know. I actually heard Black Friday wasn't that great, so I wonder if it did break records, if it's only because of inflation. You know, dollar numbers. You know, so yeah, lawfare on his son from his own DOJ. That doesn't make it. Vinman says, don't think weight when you drink, think liver damage. You know, the liver damage thing is true, but that's only if you really excessively drink. Your liver won't get too damaged unless you really regularly overdo it. Your body's pretty amazing. You know, in fact, they found alcohol, by the way, has no health benefits. I'm not promoting that, but they found they recently released a 40-year study of people in health, and people who occasionally had a drink. I'm not saying drink regularly. I'm saying occasionally, a few times a year, maybe. I don't know, maybe at the most once a week. They actually live longer than other people, and they found it's because the moderation of lifestyle is less stressful than being super stressed. Not saying it's bad to not be a drinker at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that people who are laid back more in life tend to live longer. That's just how it works. I know. No, listen, I've done carnivore diet before, Stella. It works great for me, and I need to get back on it. I do carnivore diet with fruit. It works wonders for my body, but haven't done it in a couple years. I need to get back on it. Yeah, the Democrats are outraged at it too. I know. Yeah, the pardon was for Joe himself. Well, there's some of that truth to that, but at the same time, he is going to have to deal with now. Hunter can no longer. What's the word I'm looking for? Plead the fifth. And so if they need him to testify, what's going to be interesting is if we see Biden follow it up with several more pardons. That is going to be what's interesting. Because there are people out there calling for, now that he's pardoned Hunter, there's people out there calling for him to get ahead of things and pardon people that haven't done it or haven't been indicted yet, haven't been gone after yet, just because they're afraid Trump will go after them. So how would you say that? Like pardons ahead of time, getting ahead of these things so that Trump can't go after people. And Keith Olbermann, the moron, tweeted out, or didn't tweet, he's on Blue Sky, that ridiculous site that all the liberals are fleeing to, tweeted out that go ahead and pardon 10 million people. And the moron didn't realize, are you saying 10 million people are crooks? These people don't think before they say stuff. It's crazy. Can I explain the BKK crypto exchange DJT's looking to acquire? I don't know that much about it. I just know it's a small crypto exchange. When DJT announced it was going to acquire it, it blew up. DJT, my friends, is looking saucy. It's looking saucy. Had a great day today, up almost 3% after trading water most of the day. Blew up towards the end of the day. After hours, not so much. And this is on relatively low volume. But just like I told you guys, I had a bunch of people telling me about 10 days ago that it was rounding the corner and that 29.30 range looked like the low, and it's starting to move up. I have people saying 39 it could top out at, some people saying 50. BAM still holds that in December it's possible. His model shows that it could hit up to 88. And if it breaks 88, he said we could be off the races. So get excited, my friends. Get excited. Really good things are happening. So this came out today. All right, this is interesting. I'm going to get back to stocks here in a little bit. I want to go through some news stuff first. Okay, guys. House COVID Committee released final report after a 2-year investigation. Major findings. NIH funded gain-of-function research at Wuhan. We all knew that. Constitution can't be suspended in times of crisis. Now, I like this because we all know this. We should know it. But this is an official statement from the House, okay? So coming into the Trump administration, look for this to be used to further strengthen protections against this kind of stuff happening again. So it's very good. Okay, this is excellent news. COVID emerging from a lab leak, not a conspiracy theory. EcoHealth, Dr. Peter Daszak should never again receive taxpayer funds. Love that. Public health officials lost trust of people. Duh. Operation Warp Speed was a success. Now, I'm not a fan of the vaccine. I'm not a fan of the jab for lots of reasons. In fact, my wife has a friend who, her friend's husband is dying of cancer. And he's been dying for a few years. These people completely trust everything medical. Okay, everything. They get their flu shots every year. They get their COVID vax, everything. And he got stomach cancer. He's 57, and about a year ago. And he's been doing very well for the most part. He's a strong guy, works out a lot. And then this last month, he went to get his booster shot. He got his booster for COVID and the flu. And the very next day, he started having insane headache pain. And everything's been getting worse. He started having fluid fill up in his brain. And all of a sudden, his cancer's spreading faster. And now he's on his deathbed. After, he's barely making it, the pain, and they don't know if next week they're supposed to have a renewal of their vows that they planned before he passes on, that my wife's flying out to into Texas to go see him. And now they don't even know if he'll make it. So is it, I don't know. I mean, is it coincidence? Happened the day after the jab? I don't know. So I hate Operation Warp Speed for what it produced. What I will say is that I believe, and you guys can call me crazy for this, but I do believe Trump was between a rock and a hard place. It was get a forced, rushed vaccine of some sort out there before I'm out of office, because if not, they will use this to lock down the country for 5-10 years. They will use it to undercut the Constitution for several years. People are going to die at rapid rates from depression, from poverty, whatever. Business is going to fail. This will be how they usher in their communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, and fully subvert our country and remake it in what they want it to be. And by getting this out there and not mandating it, no mandate ever came from Trump. By getting it out there, it took away every excuse they ever had to keep lockdowns going. And so I do believe Trump saved us from that. I truly do. I think Biden would have locked down the whole country on day one. I really do. And so in that case, I call it a success. And what's interesting is a lot of people call Trump like MAGA, Republicans, everything. They call us cult. Well, a cult doesn't think for themselves. And what's amazing is that the MAGA people following Trump are 99% of the people who refuse to get the vaccine, even though Trump said to get it. So that is such a murky subject. I don't often talk about it, but since it came up, in this report, I felt like it was worth discussing how it could be seen as a success. And I would not doubt if some of the Republicans in this committee, maybe that's why they put that in there. So just saying. COVID response was rampant with fraud, waste, and abuse. Prescription cannot be worse than a disease. Lockdowns had horrific consequences. So we officially have that now as a statement from the government, not just from people, studies, all that. So this is a big deal. This comes out now towards the end of the Biden administration. It's just another stamp against the Biden administration and Democrat control. It's another check that makes Trump look even better, which, by the way, right now his approval ratings are the highest they've ever been. Okay, they're the highest they've ever been. He's more popular with the people than he's ever been. And this is only going to help more. This is only going to help more because this is everything that they criticized him on. Stop saying it's a lab leak. Stop criticizing China. The China virus. All this stuff like Trump with the lockdowns. He didn't lock down enough. He's a failure on COVID. This stuff is crazy, So, again, more winning. I love every second of it. Success depends on where you set the objectives for being successful. That's exactly right, Randy. That's exactly right. Yeah. Alan says that should be illegal, a pardon of anything. Yeah, he ushered a blanket pardon. That's how it works. Vim, man, new idea. When I'm on carnivore or the like, when I start producing ketones, prevents cancer, possibly reverses. That's true. Although there are some studies starting to find that if you do strict carnivore with no carbs at all, that over time, your cancer rate will increase because your body needs carbs. Even what's-his-face, the doctor who's a hardcore carnivore guy, he started introducing fruit into his diet. So just letting you know on that. Biden doesn't even know where he sleeps, so who's in charge of his pardon affairs? I mean, I would not be surprised if Jill was behind that because Jill doesn't want to go to prison. And if what's-his-face, Biden, if they go after Joe, there's a good chance they go after Jill. So it all, and plus legacy. She would lose her meal ticket. She would lose right now. Okay. So what's amazing is that in the last few months, 6 months ago, a year ago, people were talking about Biden as the next Roosevelt. He's been the most successful one-term president in history. This is what the media was saying and the Democrats. He's such a success. Look at all he's gotten done. He brought back civility to the nation. He got us back to sanity. He defeated Trump. This singing his praises nonstop. And then he goes through the thing where he steps down, and now they're all mad at him. He didn't step down soon enough. And now this pardon thing, and it's like all of a sudden he's a bumbling idiot. They lost to Trump. His whole legacy is being tarnished. And now they're throwing out the Jimmy Carter word, which most of us were already saying. MAGA conservatives. We're already calling them Jimmy Carter 2.0, but now it's starting to come up on their side too, which is really interesting how fast that turned. It just shows you that the Democrats, it's all or nothing. If you don't, if you don't give them everything, they will turn on you and destroy you. So, that's not, it's never worth it. It's never worth giving them a dime. So anyways, let's keep moving. All right. Pete Hegseth. Him along with Kash Patel are going to be the two hardest to get through confirmation. They don't like Pete. They're scared of him. They know he'll tear up the Defense Department, get rid of all the wokeness, fire generals, you name it. It's going to be a deep cleanse. And they're using the fact that he's a Fox News host. He's got some improprieties in his past. He was a player. I'm not saying he did anything illegal. I don't believe any of that. But he's got enough where they're using some stuff. So, but the good news is we're starting to get more senators turning on to him. So here's Tommy Tuberville today.
We had a good meeting. I've known Pete for a while. He's going to be a great Secretary of Defense. He understands it. As I tell him, we don't need a general officer, admiral, or a person of high command. We need a drill sergeant in the military. We need somebody to straighten the military out, to get the woke, the DEI affiliation out, and go from there.
So, whoa, where does his face go? Oh, I caught it on a flash. So that's excellent news. We got to get this cabinet through. If we get this cabinet through, this will be the greatest administration ever put together in modern history from the executive branch. Ever. It will. If we get all of them through, or even 95% of them through, and I think we're going to get them all. I think Matt Gaetz was the sacrifice. He died so the rest could live. But we get Pete Hegseth and then Kash. So the momentum is starting to build. And here is, I got to give DeSantis credit. I've been very hard on DeSantis for a while now, but I think DeSantis is finally back in fully on the MAGA camp. And DeSantis had this to say with Kash today.
But what do you say to the senators on Capitol Hill that are already quietly vowing to put up roadblocks to the president's choice to be FBI director, Kash Patel? What do you say to them given the outcome of this election?
So, one, I think you do owe the president a great deal of deference on his picks. Kash Patel understands the problems with the FBI, and he is a reformer that will not be captured by the bureaucrats. Contrast that to our current FBI director, Christopher Wray. We remember when he got appointed back in 2017, he immediately became a company man and was captured by that institution. He has not reformed it in any way, shape, or form. And so I actually think Kash has a lot of very significant experience that's important here. But put that aside, you can be the smartest guy in the world. You can have all this experience. If you don't understand that the institution needs to be reformed, if you get captured, then you're done. You're not going to be effective. And so I think Donald Trump in this pick and others, he's making sure he's getting people who have the proper posture to these institutions. These are not the revered institutions that they may have been 30 years ago. These are very problematic institutions. Kash understands that.
Right on.
I think a lot of Republican senators understand that, but apparently not enough do.
Do you expect him to get confirmed, Governor?
I do.
All right. Governor DeSantis,
Boom.
Thank you so much. Great to see you as always. And
good job, Ron. Well done. Let's give it up for Ron. Guys, they are freaking out so hard over the Kash Patel thing. They're going worse over Kash than they were over Matt Gaetz. It's unbelievable how scared they are of Kash. And I talked about it the other night, just the brilliance of Trump holding Kash out for last or close to last. But the fact is they're terrified. I loved listening to some of the podcasts I was listening to today as they're freaking out that Kash is going to, they know that having the FBI, not only will he clean that up, because that's been their police. That's been their state police now for several decades. Okay. At least, I mean, well, you could go way back to, J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, It has been the state police for decades now, and they are terrified they're going to lose that power. They're also scared it's going to be turned on them. And he's going to get in there and he's going to investigate. He's on the board of DJT. He's going to investigate short sellers in the stock market. He's going to investigate politicians. He's going to investigate the media. This is going to be amazing to get cash in. And I'm telling you, the second we get him in, we're going to be drinking liberal tears.
Wait! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet.
Dude, I think it might be best for us to never piss Cartman off again. Good call.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness.
Just give me those tears.
Yummy.
Give them to me. I never get tired of seeing that. Cracks me up every time. So, and I do think that was the thing that finally pushed Biden over the edge to pardon Hunter, because he's just terrified. But at the same time, and this is where you get into conspiracy land, I don't know what I think about this. There are several people who believe that maybe Biden freed him up to not plead the fifth so that he could testify, that Biden already had cut some kind of deal with Trump and Trump's people, that, and this is part of it, that Hunter now is free to fully testify because he's pardoned, to fully testify to go after the corruption. I don't know what I believe about that, but just saying a lot of people believe that. So very interesting stuff. What's up, Drew Savala? You worried about Trump's trip to Paris? So Trump is on his way to Paris. I don't know if he's there yet. In fact, I can look it up. He's going to see the restored Notre Dame, which I don't know about you guys, but when Notre Dame was burned in 2019, it made me sad too. It's one of the greatest, most beautiful things in history. And okay, so he's on his way, but he won't be there till Saturday. And here's a tweet on that. So Trump will be visiting Paris, France on Saturday to attend the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral. It's cool. People are fearing for safety. I'm not too worried about it. But Trump announced, I'm going over there. I think this is awesome. This is a great way to do foreign policy, to show the French people you love them. Notre Dame is bigger than relationships between countries. It is one of the great architectures ever created. It's stunningly beautiful. I want to see it so bad. It's one of my bucket list places to visit. The fact they've restored it, I heard they've done an absolutely wonderful renovation. Here's a video of it. And I'm very excited for this. I mean, this is just, it's beautiful. And so Trump going, could it be scary? I get people are scared. I understand everybody's like worried about Trump, but I tell you what, guys, there's nothing Trump's doing that he doesn't have a plan for. Okay. Let me keep this playing in the background. It's beautiful while I talk. There's nothing he doesn't have a plan for, and I know he's going to do the absolute best job of protecting himself. He's got the best people watching him. Oh, I want to worry about it, but this is an amazing feat, and this is something to be celebrated, and it's something worthy of a president to go to. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great thing to do. Stella says, Cash is going to spread the 7,000 agents in D.C. to the wind. Go work crimes like you're supposed to. That's exactly right, yeah. Stella, Michelle Obama was drinking wine at a bistro watching it burn. Was she in Paris when that happened? I do kind of remember something about that, Stella. I don't remember the details, but you're right about that. I do remember that. Yeah, 5 years ago. It was very sad. Muslims burning churches all over Europe. I know. It's horrific. It's, when you have hundreds of years, some of these cathedrals took 300 or 400 years to build. It's incredible. Like, they actually spend time on it. Now they just erect warehouses and call them churches. It's pathetic. But but I just don't know how anybody could find it within themselves to destroy a work of art like these churches. It's sickening. I would never go to, I'm a Christian. I would never go to a mosque, a beautiful historical mosque like the Dome, Dome of the Rock. I would never go there and try to destroy it. It's sick. You just don't do stuff like that. Some stuff has historical significance, and you just leave it alone, or go to the Taj Mahal or something. Can you imagine how crazy that would be? Formerly Wrong Way Corrigan says, I'm ready to visit the Hoover DS Museum. DS Museum? Is that a joke? I like your name, formerly Wrong Way Corrigan. Oh, Hoover Deep State Museum? Is that what you're trying to say? Who was it? As it Cash said that, right? Yeah, Cash said he turned it into a museum on day one or something like that. I love that, man. So, all right. Well, hey, let's transition here before I go tonight, because it kind of a slower news day, but not for what I think's coming in the market. Let me pull this up here. All right, where are we? Okay. So, strange day in the market today. We had ups and downs. Dow down, not too bad, but S&P, NASDAQ, all over the place. And then we got pre-market, flat. Asia. Did you guys know the Nikkei was collapsing the other day and they decided to pump it? That tells me Japan's worried. So what are we heading into? Well, I see a couple options here. I listened to a new interview with David Hunter today. David Hunter so far has been spot on about this market. He called S&P hitting 6,000, called this massive melt up, and he was calling for a major downturn afterwards. Well, listening to him today, he hasn't changed a tune except for he believes that the Trump coming into office might prolong the melt up a little bit longer. And I'm telling you guys this because he's been right so far, so I don't want to disagree with him. I will say I have a thought on that. David Hunter is an economist. I don't know if he's political. I don't know if he's reading tea leaves in other directions. I don't know. I don't know how much he knows about what's going on behind the scenes, trying to keep Trump out, any of that stuff. I just don't know this stuff. What I can tell you is that if he's just by looking at the technicals of the economy and policy, economic policy coming, I would agree with him. There's one thing he didn't bring up, which makes me wonder if he'll still continue to be right. Because he thinks this melt up that he thought originally would kind of start stalling about this time and start crashing. He thinks it's going to continue till the S&P hits about 7,000, 7,500. That's wild to think. What he didn't say, or I didn't hear from him, is any mention of the fact that they were purposely pumping up the economy to keep Trump out, and now they might let it falter. That is the question. And so and that's kind of where I stand on things a little bit more, that they're going to try to cripple the economy for Trump, which would make it much harder for me to see this melt up going much further. Now, again, I've been wrong so far on this. I've been wrong on timing. So I'm not telling you guys what to think. All I'm telling you is that I'm watching it very carefully, because we might see a Santa rally here through December for a little bit. That tends to happen. But it would be the perfect time for them to start pulling the rug out when people don't expect it during the holidays, or they hold it up until January, and January 1st, things get wild. I don't know, but I'm telling you guys, this is, to me, the market's getting scarier because it's getting harder and harder to predict. So far, it's been up for a year and a half now, since last November. So 12 months, almost 13 months now. And we've been on this crazy run. And it's all inflated. It's all driven by government debt. It's all driven by fake numbers. It's insanity. It's driven by NVIDIA, which might be a scam. I mean, what's real? And when things aren't real, and we have a new person coming into power that nobody in power wants, it makes you wonder, when will this flip? Now, I was also listening to another economist I really enjoy. His name is Tom Luongo. I don't know if any of you guys know who he is. Great. He's got great stuff. And he's got great insights into world economics and also what the Federal Reserve does, how it impacts the world. And what he's saying is he believes we're about to head into tough times. This seems to be a theme with everybody I listen to, even though they don't talk to each other that I know of. And it's all different places. Okay. I'll tell you this though. He said, and this goes, it's interesting because this is already my theory. And, but he broke it down. He said that coming out of this, if Powell continues to lower rates, obviously that will pump up inflation. He said, in his mind, in his opinion, he thinks Powell prefers to let inflation kind of ramp up again a little bit because it could help avoid the credit crisis and bank failures. I don't know how true that is, but that's his theory. What he was saying, though, is on top of that, is that even if we go through this downturn, one of the things that could save us is if Trump gets a lot of his policies in quick, starts deregulating very quickly, cuts spending very quickly, gets the tariffs out there. All of that, the new tax bill, all of that could help ease inflation going forward so we're not hit as hard again and also turn the economy around faster. So what's this say? Pretty much everybody agrees a rough time's coming up soon, whether it's in a month, 6 months, but pretty much everybody agrees 2025 is going to be rough at some point. That's what I'm hearing everywhere, except for the Jim Cramers of the world, which I don't listen to them anyways, because why would you? Just do what the opposite of him and you make a lot of money. But what's happening is there's a lot of panic also on Wall Street because they're seeing it behind the scenes. Let me show you this tweet from Bam. So it says, I had a long conversation with Polish assassin. That's Pedro, by the way, our boy Pedro. Polish assassin today, which by the way, I need to have him back on soon. Although we base our conclusions on very different inputs and backgrounds in financial markets, conclusion is unavoidable. By the way, these two men, Bam, Pedro, and then you throw Ham in there as well. Some of the smartest people I've ever known when it comes to this stuff. All combined between the three of them, about 120 years worth of experience on Wall Street. They know what they're talking about. It says the criminality perpetrated in AMC stock over the past many years wouldn't have been so intense and relentless unless the original counterfeit short position was appropriately 3 billion shares. They only have one escape hatch that is bankruptcy for this company and many others. This is the key. Okay, I'm not here to just talk about AMC. He's making a broader point here. Their biggest mistake, this is where it gets fun for us. Their biggest mistake, hubris, was in attacking DJT and bringing new, more powerful eyeballs on the crime scene. I haven't talked to Bam in a couple weeks about this stuff. He came to this conclusion separately from me. So we both have the same conclusion, but we came to it separately. I remain hopeful. I haven't wasted years of my life working to record real-time price manipulation, sharing with anyone willing to look and listen. My information's in the right hands. Bam dropped a hint when he was on my show that he had gotten some of this stuff to Devin Nunes and DJT folks. And the relentless attacks on me and my companies tells me the bad actors are beyond nervous. Good wins. That's the main key right here, though. The bad actors are beyond nervous. Bam has several contacts, Wall Street, all that. He gets his stuff out there. Pedro, same. They're talking, and they both agree. The bad actors are beyond nervous. Why? Well, think about it. Trump's coming in. Kash Patel coming in. New SEC chair. The good times are about to end. The economy is fake, propped up. They know that well is about to dry up. The government printing is going to dry up. All their loopholes are about to dry up. And they got... we couldn't write a better script for DJT. Can I tell you guys that right now? We found a heavily manipulated short squeeze stock. By the way, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for reminding me, Mark. If you like what you're hearing here, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. We found a heavily manipulated short squeeze stock, like a GameStop type, except for GameStop was controlled by the hedge funds. The DJT is not. It's owned majority shares by the most powerful man in the world about to assume power again on January 20th. Can't make it up. That's the best news ever, right? Except it gets better. We now have Pam Bondi, who's about to be Attorney freaking General, has over 100,000 shares of DJT. And then Kash Patel, Director of the FBI. So you have the DOJ, the head of the DOJ, Attorney General of the United States of America, Director of the FBI, two of the most powerful domestic law justice agencies in the entire United States, probably the two most powerful. The heads of them are both majorly involved in this manipulated stock. Do you think they're going to play games? I'm telling you, I think DJT is going to rip faces off. It's going to get insane. And the only way it doesn't go to monstrous numbers, in my opinion, is if they see that there's some systemic risk from it. They get scared. And so Trump, Cash, Pam Bondi, they make a deal with the shorts. Let them out easy. I don't see that happening. That's not Trump's style. But if you had a case to make, that would probably be it. So, there you go. China bank's running out of liquidity. Yeah. So, what's the house count? It should be finished. I think it ended at 220 or 221. Let me see here. That's a good question. I thought it ended at 220. Did we end up with 221? Yeah, it's 220. 220, Donna. I guess there's still one that has not been called. So that's interesting. All right, let me go back to that BAM tweet. Sorry, I wanted to answer your question. But anyways, so DJT is, listen, crypto is awesome right now. I know Bitcoin stalled. XRP is going nuts. I think XRP is going to go huge. So please, if you want buy an XRP, by all means, do it. It's going to be crazy. DJT is a little more expensive right now, $32. That's not what a lot of people don't want to feel safe buying in that. But listen, if it goes even to 88, which Bam said, that's almost tripled your money in the next couple months. If it breaks out 500, 1,000, you got to look at the percentages you're making. So maybe diversify. I don't know. I'm not advising you. I'm just sharing my opinion. I'm looking right now to only accumulate DJT, XRP, I'm starting to get into, and then Finger, which I don't have a ton of stuff on here, but yes, Mad Max says Martin Shen says they're expecting funding for Finger this calendar year. There's Finger financial rumors of a deal. This is all true. And then the dividend we might be getting this month. All of that could seriously move Finger as well. So those guys that's what I'm watching. The one says, if the markets goes down and you're over leveraged, we will get paid 100%. That's exactly right. Yeah. Brandon says, Bloomberg 5 hours ago, article on BOFJ, that's Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan weighs case for first triple hike since Japan's bubble. Holy smokes. Triple hike? That would probably force the Japan carry trade to unwind, which would crash the market. The last time they started unwinding the carry trade, guys, was back in August when Dow and NASDAQ both crashed 1,000 points. So that could be interesting. It's ending December 20th or January 20th, guys. Formally says, won't DJT, Cash, and Bonnie have to do something with their positions before January 20th? No, they can keep their stock. Congress has stock all like crazy. I don't know about stepping down from the board for Cash. He might have to do that. But Trump doesn't have to divest himself. He's already said he's not selling. You can have stock. You're just not supposed to be able to use your position to illegally buy or sell based on insider knowledge. But you can hold your stock. Yeah, I remember what happened last time BOJ raised rates. Mad Max, no way off. Easy. The fraudulent shares got to be bought back to clean up. I agree. What's up, FGCV? How's it going? How about Mara Holdings? I don't know anything about Mara. Sorry, Jim. You can't read the Bloomberg article on Bank of Japan due to paywall. That's a bummer. There's ways around that. I don't know if I should be saying them though on YouTube. YouTube gets a little strict with that kind of stuff. So looking ahead, guys, and then we also got this big thing, which this is not a good transition, but I did want to hit it real quick because Trump's coming now it's December 2nd. We have 29 more days of December, and then we have 20 days of January. So 49 days, we're getting our boy in office, the man. And they are going to be freaking out every moment from here till now. I will tell you this. It seems like they've accepted defeat and I don't know what plan they can possibly have to keep him out at this point. There's no murmurings. Let me put it that way. There's no fight in the Democrats for keeping him out. This isn't 2016 where they actually had some of that fight. There were riots in the streets. There were millions of people protesting. There was Hillary Clinton talking about faithless electors. All that was out there. There's no fight. Kamala Harris is a defeated woman. She's conceded. You saw her drunk, her drunk message. She's a defeated woman. She's given up. The Democrats have completely, and I'm telling you, I've listened to dozens of hours of Democrats and hardcore liberals talking about the election the past 3 weeks. I can't get enough of it. I just love listening to them, how scared they are and how defeated they are. I love it. It makes me happy. Those liberal tears, I eat them up. But I'll tell you this. Usually you get an idea of what they're thinking, what they're planning, all that. All right? There's none of that. It is all complete talk about once Trump's in, what do we do? How do we slow him down? That's what they're talking about. No talk at all of keeping him out. Not anything. And I think the win was so big that they just don't have any hope for keeping him out of office. So to me, it's not about keeping him out of office. I think they're not even going to try to keep him out. I really don't. There might be maybe an attempt on his life or something here or there, but they lost so bad, guys. They're getting a whole administration in. They know that cutting off the head won't stop them. So it'll only embolden them. I don't think they're going to try. I really don't. So if they're letting him in, what they're going to do is they're going to try to ruin his presidency from the get-go so he can't get much done. And that's going to look like attacking his cabinet, which they're already doing. It's going to look like trying to get World War III started, which they've obviously already tried. And it's going to look like tanking the economy. Those are the big three to stop him from getting anything done. The problem is they're completely inept and they're falling apart on this. Guys, I think we underestimate what a massive shellacking this was. I think for us, it was so crazy he won the way he did. Even though I thought it would happen, it still felt unreal watching it happen. And honestly, I think he beat them even bigger than I expected. I thought there was going to be way more fight. I really did. I thought they were going to go nuts. They didn't. Instead, it broke them. They are broken right now, and they're scrambling to get back on. And you have people like the Young Turks, which are trying to talk sense into the Democrats. This broke them to the point where they've like moderated. It's the weirdest thing. Liberal Podcastville right now is a very strange place. You have the people who are doubling down, who are just like, America sucks. We are terrible people. That's why we voted him in. And we just didn't get our message out enough. They're the morons. That's Pod Save America. That's the Bulwark. These idiots, MSNBC, The View. But then you have a bunch of liberals who are waking up because they got so defeated and saying, what's wrong with us? We're a mess. We are the establishment. We don't want to be the establishment. These are the people that actually have true beliefs about policy. These are not the woke trans type people. These are like the Bill Maher's of the world, the Young Turks of the world. And they're actually having real discussions. But none of it is about stopping Trump. It's all about how do we survive this is the question. And so that tells me that they're he's going to get in, guys. And so here's this big story that Alex Jones has been pushing and that I wanted to share because this is one of the big things that they're scared of. And it says Trump launches plan to bring down international human trafficking child slave network. Action will destroy the New World Order system. 10 million views too. Good job, Alex. Dang. Anyways, the truth is that this is going on. This is why there's 300,000 plus kids missing at the border. Okay. And I haven't listened to this show, so I can't validate or verify all of Alex's claims, but it doesn't matter because this overall is a truth that this is one of the ways they run this dark, twisted economy that these globalists have. And anyways, I can't talk about too much on it because it's just a road too dark for YouTube. But the fact is that this has a lot to do with what they're terrified of, but it also is, I think, going to be one of the main things Trump goes after and why he's got Pam Bondi as AG, why he's got Kash Patel at FBI, to clean up those agencies, but also to do this, which is going to destroy them. They're going to be destroyed in so many ways. It's absolutely fascinating. And I'm so here for it, guys. So here for it. So again, World War III crashed the economy. World War III is not going to happen. It's already, the peace is happening in the Middle East. Trump's talking to Putin. Zelensky's talking about deals. That's going to be averted. Trump's already masterfully handled that. Okay. The cabinet picks, I think, are going to mostly be fine. And then the economy. I think Trump's going to bring us out of it quick. But the reason I bring it up is because of the potential for what can happen for us if the economy tanks. And that is, if you're in the right place, these short squeezes are going to happen. If they don't happen in a major market downturn when we have everything going for us in the justice system, they're never going to happen. Okay. This is it. This is make or break. This is the line in the sand. This is all that research we've done over the years, all the stuff we've seen, all the things, all the dominoes falling into place. This is it. If we don't get short squeezes once these people are in power, and if the economy goes down, it's just not going to happen. Somehow they got out. I don't understand how, but they did. So that's number one. Make money off of that. Number two is position yourselves to get ready to buy, because this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to buy assets that will make you wealthy the rest of your life, take care of you the rest of your life. It can be, because when everything tanks, it's going to mean prices are going to collapse, and probably a way we'll never see again. Not in our lifetimes anyways. This could be like 1929 level. And that's something to be preparing for. That's something to be preparing for. So the one says, double your money and then some at XRP still holding. God bless you. Brand's too quiet. A little too quiet. Wonder if Elon and Vivek are invested in DJT. I don't think so. I think we would have heard by now. Alan, could Trump fly to Russia after Notre Dame visit? It's possible. I think France is pretty far. But I mean, it's possible, but that would be huge news. I don't know. That'd be a hard secret to keep. Oh, who knows? Randy, Ace, Joy Reed said Kamal ran a perfect campaign. Those morons. I cannot believe how stupid those people are. What's up, Roger? Sorry, no notification. Hey, real quick on that. Thank you, Roger, for bringing this to my attention. Guys, I think the shadow ban on my channel has been lifted because I had a really good November as far as like growing in subs again. So if you guys wouldn't mind, if you go check your subscriptions, make sure they're good again, because I know they were unsubscribing, several of you. Check that, see if you're still subscribed, and then hit the notification bell. Turn it on. And then maybe we can avoid some of this missing the lives. I don't know. If the shadow ban's truly lifted, then that stuff should keep now. So it might be worth looking into. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Join the party. Stella, you've heard other countries like China and Russia along with CIA have honey holes where they get politicians on video. Oh, yeah. It's everywhere. It is. Are we going to get more seats in the Senate? Well, we have a potential to get one more in the House. We could end up with 221. Senate is done. Senate's done. It's 53-47. The only way we get more seats on the Senate is if they investigate the election. Say Pam Bondi decides to run a investigation into elections in some of these places, say Wisconsin, Arizona, and discover that it's what's the word I'm looking for? Say they discover there was fraud, and then then a Republican could be seated instead. It's quiet because the DNC's broke, cannot fund shills and protests. That's very true too. They're completely broke and in debt. Kamala blew $2.5 billion, guys. The number keeps getting higher because they keep tallying up what the PACs spent on her too, and it's now at $2.5 billion she spent, and is still in debt and has nothing to show for it. The Democratic donors are pissed because they were told she was winning. The campaign lied to them for money. They were told she was winning. They expected her to win, and they were expecting favors for their money, and they just blew all that money. $2.5 billion. They blew all that money and got nothing to show for it. It's awesome. Toe cramp. Yes, I'm still alive. I haven't even been on an hour, or just past an hour. It's not that long. Pretty good fish in the 51st state. Yeah. Let's bring Canada in, baby. So, I love Trump. Yeah. The Canada, you guys can't afford your tariffs? It's going to kill your economy? Well, hey, you could just become our next state, and I'll let you be governor. Who says that? So unbelievable. Did I say Trump's on his way to Paris now? I don't know if he's now, but he's definitely going soon. So, yeah, they're going to audit her spending. I can't wait to see what that turns out. So, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you, buddy. Just in time for me to say goodbye. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night. This was good times. I'll be back tomorrow, go over stuff. I'll continue to monitor this economy stuff because I think our time to make money is coming very soon, as well as the news, as always. So God bless you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and check your subscription to make sure it's still there. All right? Just check that. I don't know if he'd meet with Putin first, Alan. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So anyways, let's pray and call it a night. So Father God, thank you so much for all you're doing in the world. Thank you for blessing us, Lord, with Trump being back and getting our nation back on track. I pray you bless us all as we navigate the crazy seas, Lord, of this wild economy and market. Pray, God, everybody here would make moves that could make them a lot of money in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity I believe we're about to face. And God, we pray for protection over Trump and his team. And pray, God, that just your hand is on them as they move forward and can get done everything this country needs to get done in this time when he gets in. So we thank you again for all you're doing. Bless everybody here in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love you guys. What's up, Rum Dog? You missed so much. The one, Ham said today concerning Finger, they're calling around looking for shares to borrow. Dividends coming, still buying and holding DDT. Love it. Yeah, me too. Arcade deep fried turkey and tal. I know, it was awesome. It was so good. So anyways, all right. God bless you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. And yeah, you're the best. Like, share, subscribe as always.